Louie C. the Mayor checking in. What is going on, my people? Listen, we got to keep trucking. As you can see, it's real red and real gray today on the program, so it's going to be an interesting show. Shout out to FloridaKeysEnergy.com, lawyer for accident in the Keys. If you're involved in an accident in a car, moped, bicycle, or God forbid on that great big ocean, go to FloridaKeysEnergy.com. Locals take care of locals. 302 Southern Street. Them local boys are going to take care of you, guaranteed. Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon and Key Largo. Shout out to Dr. Burrows. We got a great plan going on right now. AUC 89, finally affordable health care. And there's a lot of stuff going to be happening on Friday's show, so make sure you tune in. And I got to tell you, boy, I've been looking for a new place to eat Cuban food for about 20 years now. This place is hard to find. I got lost the first time about 2 times before I got in there. Have you found paradise? 124 Duval Street. Great food out there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube. All of y'all watching worldwide, right over here. Whoop! And those of y'all watching on Facebook, make sure you hit the notifications button right over here. Whoop! Like to welcome to the program my favorite school board member in the world, Miss Mindy Conn. I see you got the red on. How you doing, darling? How's everything?
I am good, and I have to call you out because you told John Dick he was your favorite school board member.
Well, he's on the male side, you on the female.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah. So how you been? Everything good?
Been good, you know. Feeling well, thankfully, and looking forward to getting kids back to school when we can.
Awesome. So, Miss Mindy, let me ask you, look, boy, he came in right. You must have heard his ears right. John Dick in the building. John Dick. Hey, listen, we still got an APB for Coach Freeman. We still ain't found that man. He think we let him off the hook because of this pandemic in basketball. I still ain't found that man. So, John, thank you for tuning into the show. So, Miss Mindy, we worldwide on this show here on YouTube. So, can you please just give an introduction about yourself, how you come to Key West, and just break it down for the people watching, please?
Sure. I've been in Key West since 2001. And when I got here, we moved with my husband and daughter from California. He had a job move. And then we had my son here, so he's officially a conch, born and raised in Key West.
Nice.
And I was a lawyer in New York.
Oh, wow.
And then I never, practiced here in Florida, but I am actually a lawyer. And since my kids were growing up in the schools here, I decided that was where I wanted to be.
That is absolutely spectacular. I didn't know you was a lawyer. What you specialize in?
Malpractice and personal injury.
Okay, awesome.
And then I worked for the New York State Attorney General for a few years.
It's a different pace in New York compared to Key West Conns.
It is a very, very definite different pace.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service to the school board. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You within the people there. Me and you, we always run each other into when we go to the different games that are around town. And I think, they don't pay enough for this job, especially in the middle of a pandemic. There's no pandemic pay that you get, and you got a headache nonstop,
right.
And it's hard to please everybody. But I just want to let you know, I want to thank you and let you know you do an outstanding job. By the way, how is that good old boy Josh doing?
He's doing great. Thanks for asking. We just dropped him in Nebraska for baseball and college. So he's excited, ready to get started. For him, sports will start up September 1st.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
So I see you in the studio. You brought in the Gator Cup. You like the Gators?
My daughter's a UF attendee,
What year?
so she's in her senior year.
Really?
She is.
My daughter too.
And she's following in my footsteps and applying to law school this fall. So we're really excited about everything the kids are doing.
You know what they say? If you're not a Gator, you Gator bait. But I like your cup.
I have heard that.
We're going to take all questions, any questions that you guys got pertaining to anything, especially with school related. Look, hold on, time out, Michael, time out. When the superintendent come out here, it's time out. Mike, you can go ahead. She uses her lawyer skills at the time as school board chair. She's amazing. Teresa Axford.
I really appreciate that. The nice thing is that Terry and I have been together since her Sugarloaf days.
Really?
She was our principal, and you know, in the midst of everything that's fallen in her lap in her first year of superintendent of schools, she's just doing an amazing job, and I appreciate having that opportunity to work with her as the chair, so that's been really nice.
Yes, Madam Superintendent Ms. Axford is on top of her game. I got to tell you, you know, I call it like it is. We got a thing around here called Blood Raw, and when she came to the show, we don't miss no words. I got to tell you, her planning, organization, what we got going on with this pandemic, I'm not going to call no names, but she definitely on top of the charts on the government agency. She across the board, I think, got it covered, and I think she's doing an excellent job, and everybody on the school board is doing great. And as we know, we're just trying to get kids back to go to school again.
Yes. But
it's very challenging, and we want to do it correctly. So on that note, Ms. Conn, how are the teachers and students doing so far?
So every time we go online, obviously there are some hiccups. So today we did have some connectivity issues, and those were getting worked out. Our IT staff is incredible, and some of the issues that we get and have are beyond our control. It's just based on usage. But anytime we're faced with anything, our IT department's right on top of that. And really, it's only been a few days. So,
right.
You know, we're still reaching out to some kids who haven't signed into school yet. Other kids are, you know, got right in the swing of things right away. So really too early for a very good feel on how things are going, and still working some kinks out.
Okay.
But as we talk about reopening schools, hopefully the internet issues and the online issues will become less frequent.
Well, bottom line is, when you have something new, and this is brand new to most everybody in the world living with a pandemic, and you got to go through different things, you're going to have some kinks. So everything's not going to be firing like the 1972 Dolphins to perfection. So you work out some kinks, and you go from there. But the main thing I learned through this is you have to be patient, and people are trying hard. They're not trying to do a bad job, but kinks, you know, will happen, and we'll get them worked out, and we'll keep it moving. The main thing I learned about this is that you have to stay positive for the people, and you have to encourage people, because everybody's character is not the same. Some people get down real easy.
Yes.
So if you just, you know, keep giving good
and our
words.
teachers are truly doing the best that they can. Not everybody's on the same level
Right.
of ability in terms of computer literacy, but they're working really hard to give the students everything that they need while we're not in our schools.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you heard me say this, but I say this every time. I think teachers should be the highest paid profession in the world, and planners above and beyond, because this is an act that they do for children, and it doesn't pay what it's supposed to. And I'm glad to see Ron DeSantis came through with the $500 million for Florida for teachers. And I think when Mr. Dick was on here, he said that already increased teachers' pay to start and increase everybody's paycheck.
Exactly.
So I think that is absolutely wonderful. So let me ask you this. This is a $1 billion question. Would it be, will kids go back to school this year physically?
Yes, is the easy answer to that question. And actually, we had a school board meeting last night, and based on the very low positivity numbers recently, as well as the fact that we've been under 10% for a while, we're actually looking at going back to school starting September 14th.
Okay.
Now
So
that doesn't mean 5 days a week for everybody. You know, elementary kids, we're going to try and get in 5 days a week, but 6 through 12 will probably be on an AB day to start. We can't fully open yet. Our numbers aren't quite there. But our numbers are at a place where we can use our phase 2 plan for the school district.
Gotcha. And let me ask you this. There's a lot of parents out there that are struggling. I see some stuff on the social media, and it's tough because, you know, they have to, you know, make a living and stay above water, because not everybody could afford just to not work and, you know, stay home.
Yes.
So, I mean, have you had anybody reach out to you? Have you seen anything like this? I mean, is there any type of support for these parents? Because every time, I'll be honest with you, when I see this, it's very sad to me, because I want to be able to help people, and I know a lot of people going through it. But I guess the positive thing is it looks like slowly we're going to get back to them, so that's positive. But I mean, is there any type of program?
So one of the things we've done is we've identified a small number of kids, and we're bringing them back to school as of August 31st. So we're talking ESE, maybe somebody who was behind last year, some kids that are ELL.
Okay.
So there is a very small number of kids identified by the school that we're bringing back a little bit sooner. And it also allows us, as we move forward, to take a few kids and move them in, make sure protocols are good, cleaning's going the way it's supposed to, kids are separated and learning. And as we move kids in little by little, I really think that a phased approach or, slow approach is the best approach.
I think that's absolutely 1,000,000% on target, and I'm so proud of the school board doing this and looking out for our parents and our kids especially. So that is absolutely wonderful that we're doing that. Now let me ask you a question. If a parent feels that they meet this criteria, how should they go about that? Can they call somebody?
They cannot.
They cannot?
The students have already been identified and identified by the schools.
Okay. All right. No problem.
But those parents that you're talking about, they should start feeling confident that their kids are coming back to school. Yeah. Because unless the numbers go haywire again up, and that's the most important thing, I can't reiterate it enough times.
Right.
With numbers, we have to go by the numbers, we have to go by recommendations by the Department of Health, and whether or not we open as expected on the 14th in the way that we plan will depend on whether or not these numbers continue to go down and stay the way they are.
Fabulous. So what I'm hearing you say is that you're telling parents that might be having a hardship right now to basically hang in there, that we're going to go back to school here unless something changes, and we can't guarantee we're going to stay that way, because then there's other challenges, but just hang in there, because we're getting close to getting back there physically. Let's see what happens.
And I would encourage any parent that's having challenges to reach out to their teacher with any problems that they're having, because if we don't know at the school level, then they're not going to be able to help you. Now,
I'm going to say this because I know there's protocols for everything, because we have protocols in our businesses and stuff, and this is unpredictable. So me and you, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
That is true.
I mean, we call it a movie over here. We finished the movie. Now we're in Netflix episode number 8 with this pandemic. It's only happened, 1918 was the last time. It lasted 4 years. So it could be possible, unfortunately, that we let the kids go back to school and then something happens, which is negative. We're not hoping that happens, but I'm pretty sure we have a protocol for that too. But I agree, at least we have to try, especially I'm seeing a downtick in numbers here for a while now. But we have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, because I don't want people out there, if you're not part of the solution, then you damn sure don't need to be part of the problem. This could happen, so we're trying to do the best they can. So hopefully all goes well, we can stay for the whole year, but it's possible that some things might come up, and then we have to make a decision. It's day by day, basically.
And people should know, if they're not comfortable with their student going back to school at the school, that we have opportunities and options for them to keep their student online.
Okay. So I got some people coming in here. Daryl Wagoose, home virtual for the kids. Richard Guzman, you know that gentleman? Mm-hmm. That's a VIP out there in Conn baseball. Schools need to open. She is doing a great job. Thank you, Richard, for watching. Superintendent still in here. Jenny, go Gators. They say if you ain't a Gator right now, you Gator bait. I got to say I'm a 305 all day, Dade County. But I respect y'all Gators. DJ DOS will be on the program Thursday on Wild 927 going in the mix. Y'all tune in from 7 to 9. Teresa Axford said, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You're the best. Thank you, Madam Superintendent. You're wonderful. Enrique Brown, a lot of parents said after the first week they would send their kids back in a heartbeat when school opens. Can't wait to get back to referring also. Okay. I'm going to let you take that one right there.
Our teachers are doing great work. They really care about the kids. Absolutely. And just like we don't want students who are uncomfortable coming back, if teachers are uncomfortable coming back when we're asking them to be back, they should definitely speak with their principals about the alternatives that we'll have.
Awesome. Tangela, what's up, girl? I see you checking in right now. Richard Guzman, is there any chance in school classes can start earlier, and who makes that decision? I'll let you take that.
So we don't want to start school classes any earlier than is planned. Keeping the schools clean and ready and preparing the schools and the teachers, getting the furniture in that's necessary, masks, PPE equipment. There's so much to do that we just don't believe that doing it any sooner would actually be appropriate.
What's the tentative start date again? I'm sorry.
September 14th.
All right, we're right around the corner, so that is great, but we got to get prepped. Looks like the Coconut Telegraph went haywire. You got big fans coming in here. I'm going to let you take. Who's that? Abraham Conn. Go ahead.
I wonder who that is. Who's our favorite baseball player of all time who graduated this past year? And of course, that's my son, Josh.
Josh,
we
shout out.
already answered that question.
All love. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a roll call right now. Tell me what your favorite school is of all time. Go ahead and do it on here on the live. Hit the notifications button right over here. Boop. Those of y'all watching worldwide, make sure you hit the subscribe button right over here. Boop. And we answering all questions with Miss Conn today. Let me see. Doris Jones Crocker. Kids need the interaction with others and need to learn.
Yes, 100%. And one of the things that we're doing is they've been very limited, but we're trying to get our hands on those masks with the plastic mouthpiece. Because obviously for some of our youngest students, for some of our ESE students, for a student who's deaf, for instance, being able to see somebody's lips and facial expressions is really important. So Pat LaFear and Terry Axford have been working on getting that kind of equipment to the schools so that we can, in fact, help those who need it with facial expression, lip reading, so on and so forth.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the kids need to interact. I think that's a big part. We've been cooped up for a long time, so I'm very happy that we're getting back to business at school. That's outstanding news. And also anybody watching worldwide, local, Big Pine, Big Coppice, Stock Island, Bahama Village, Marathon, and you want to help the school board with fundraising, just reach out to the school board and let them know that you want to help with some fundraising. Because at this time, you know, there's been a lot of programs that have been affected. And let me get into my next question here.
Well, let me just say, if you are interested in helping the schools out, please contact whichever school it is you want to help out. They're equipped to take money in that manner.
Gotcha.
And it's a better idea for them to have the money go where they want it to.
Yes.
Than to just contact the school board.
Gotcha. So if you want to contribute, just contact schools individually, and like that, you can tell them what you want funds to go to. That is absolutely fabulous, and I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to hear from you. You want to take that one from Madam Axford?
Patient and kind, that's what we all have to be, and flexible. It's really important that people understand that whether it's a student, a parent, a teacher, an administrator, we are all doing the best we can in something that we've never seen before, and being patient, being kind, being flexible, those are some words to keep at the front of your mind.
Absolutely. I got this gentleman right here, Red Tater. This man comes on the show on a daily basis, nonstop. He said, Louie, hey, big dog. It seems to me that since Key West is not a hotspot, that all kids should be back in the classroom. Thank you for coming in. What happens here in the program, so you know people come in at different times or whatever. So you just want to talk briefly again about the game plan when we're going back to school.
The plan is to get kids back in our classrooms as of September 14th to some extent, because the numbers aren't so fabulous yet that we want to just go in full classrooms, all those kids. I mean, if you think about it, we have almost 1,200 kids at Key West High alone. Classrooms are set up and sized to have 25-ish kids. They're not set up and sized in order to spread everybody out with 6 feet distancing.
It's very challenging.
So that's one of the reasons that we're going with the AB day at this time for the 6 through 12 kids.
Okay. See that gentleman there?
Clayton Lopez.
My
howdy,
man,
howdy.
Clayton working hard out there, even though we can't do it like we used to, shake hands and kisses babies. Somehow we got to figure it out. Clayton, good luck with everything. Let me ask you a question, Ms. Conn. What's the latest update on sports?
Okay, I actually brought that with me because I figured it would be a big question. We also addressed this at last night's school board. On August 14th, the Florida High School Athletic Association voted to begin fall sports on August 24th. We will move to phase 2 practice September 8th. And so what that actually means is that assuming we continue to meet the public health metrics, on September 8th, we'll move to the NFHS phase 2 guidance, which will allow schools to schedule contests according to timeline. September 14th, guidance in place, low-risk sports will begin competitions such as cross-country, swimming, diving, and golf. September 21st, phase 3 guidance in place. Moderate risk sports will begin competitions such as volleyball. And then on September 28th, phase 3 guidance will be in place, which allows high risk sports such as football to begin competition.
Gotcha. And I'm just going to do this real quick before we go to the next one. So, who is Michael Knowles? Mike, how we looking right there on this program right here, Mike? We good there? I want these people to see this. So this
you gotta go up. There you go.
Yep. So check it out. Okay, Ms. Conn? Anything
and the
else?
coaches should have this, so, any questions, you can certainly contact your coach.
Okay, any questions that y'all want right now will be the time to come in pertaining to school, what's going on, all love right now. So let me see, favorite school, did my master's degree at 305 Dade County, my favorite.
My niece is there, she's a freshman this year.
I'm hurricane all day. I'm glad the hurricanes are coming out, and I also see the Dolphins are going to allow fans to come in the stadium, 13,000 separated, so that's good news.
Fans, but
so
yes.
Slowly but slowly we're gonna get there. My favorite all time is 305 Swaggin Hurricanes High School is Rockledge. Yep, Rockledge's got a great program. Let's see what Guzman talking about. Thank you for then info. Mindy Conn is very knowledgeable lady.
Thank you, Richard.
You got her there in the VIP at the Conn baseball game. Just because her son graduated, she's still going to be coming up. You know this young lady right here? You know this lady right here? Michelle Marie. She's out there at the good old Conn Cuts. She's a veteran, class of 87.
Great.
I'm going to let you take that one right there if you can see it on.
The school board teachers and all who are involved are doing an outstanding job. The Google Classroom is so much better with the exception of the Wi-Fi glitches that are out of anyone's control. Thanks to all. Thank you. We need some supportive comments. I know frustration gets high when we have glitches such as Wi-Fi. We are trying to be understanding. I know how difficult it can be, so positive words of reinforcement are always appreciated.
Nice. And Ms. Mindy, why did you decide to be a school board member?
So after all the time I had spent in the schools, I wanted to put into place all of the things that I witnessed and I felt I wanted to change. And I'm a firm believer that, if you want to make changes, you need to take action. And so that's what I did. So
this has come from the chapter we have in here, Don't Talk Big, Do Big. And this is what I tell y'all. If you don't like the umpire at the Conn baseball game making certain calls, then sign up to be an umpire. If you think you can coach at the level they're coaching out there and you don't see it happening, go down there to the school board building, fill out an application, they'll take it and you can sign up. Which brings you to my next question is, what is the procedure to increase these coaches' pay? Because it's been a long time. We used to be at 10 cents an hour. Now we're like at 2 cents. And we know these coaches don't do it for the money. But I mean, I don't think the pay has increased during the time, and I don't know if that 500 million applied to
It
to
didn't
coaches.
apply to coaches unless they're teaching, and if they're teaching, which
Then they'll
many of them are, they'll get the money.
So they get it
from-
on kind of on the teaching
Correct.
side. Okay.
Exactly.
Yep. So I don't know how we do it, Ms. Ashford. That might be a question for you. I know we're going through hard times and we got to get back to basics. But I like for that to be taken a look at, because I think that we've been at a certain scale for a while. And when you add up those man hours, man, that's a lot of time.
It's a lot.
You've
of
been
time.
out there.
Absolutely.
So it's really crazy.
Absolutely.
Red Tater says mid-September seems very reasonable.
And for anybody who actually wants to know why we talk about mid-September, a quarter for the schools is 9 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And so we wanted to take a look at whether or not we would be going back after half of the first 9 weeks.
Madam Superintendent, Ms. Axford's here. I'm going to let you take that one if you can see it.
Orientation and training for all kids and safety practices at school the week of September 8th. Schools will notify parents of their schedule.
Okay, that's awesome. Oh, boy.
Hey, Chris!
Okay, so what had happened was, sometimes they call you back to the show.
Right?
So they counted that boy Chris Valdez out. They say, oh, no, that man ain't done yet.
Nope.
So happy to see that man. I'm by. That's my classmate.
Uh-huh.
And this man really has the experience. And I'd rather have nobody over there that could come in right now to help what's going on with the principals and everybody working together as a team. He knows the landscape. So I love Chris, and I'll be honest with you, I'll keep it blood raw. Anybody got a problem with Chris, they got a problem with me.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're back. Guzman, let me see what that boy Guzman talking. Lou, you've been beating me to the punch asking the questions before I can. Good job. Well, we trying to do the best we can. I just ask that people be positive. I don't agree with a lot of stuff, especially now happening with the city and the county, but I respect everybody because there's a pandemic. Nobody's trying to do a bad job.
And the truth is, the hardest thing about being an elected official is you're never going to please everybody.
Absolutely. And this is what she said to her point. She seen something that needed change. She stepped up, and you could do it too, because even Fats was here yesterday. We need a lot of young people to come in and step up. And we were just talking about voting. We need kids to go out there and vote. And the reality, even though we had an increase on the voting here, it was still a horrific number. We need to get those numbers up for voter turnout. Let me ask you a question. Can you let people know about the Take Stock in Children program?
So Take Stock in Children is an incredible program, and actually one of the things I did before becoming a school board member was I was a Take Stock in Children college coach.
Oh, really?
And I was the coach. I sat at HOB, and I was the coach for HOB, Sigsbee, Sugarloaf, and the collegiate high school at the time, now Somerset Academy. And so I was bringing kids in the program. And I can't say enough about Take Stock in Children. The reason that Take Stock in Children and the school district work so well together is because we all want what's best for kids, and we all want kids to have opportunities that they want, that they've worked for, and it's an incredible program. And actually Monroe County is the only county in Florida that has a scholarship for any student that meets the requirements.
And can you briefly, some people, you'd be surprised how many people don't take advantage of this program, have no idea about this program. In the short version, what exactly is taking stock? So people that never heard about it.
So the short version is Take Stock in Children offers scholarships to students who meet their requirements, so low income. And for those of you who wonder what that level is, typically if you would apply and receive free lunch, your income level meets the requirements necessary. And they're also looking for students who work hard, who are able to pass some of the testing levels for Florida. Like if you can't pass those tests, it's going to be very difficult for you to get beyond high school. looking for kids who stay out of trouble. It's actually, you have to sign a contract when you come
Right.
on saying you won't do drugs, no
But
criminal issues.
it's open to anybody as long as you meet the criteria.
If you meet the criteria, and I would actually encourage people, every school has a coach,
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
and they do their best to identify which
Mhm.
students should receive applications, but there are a lot of kids.
Gotcha.
And more kids even now than maybe there had been due to the pandemic.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's really important. At Key West High, it would be Lindsay, and then, but we do start to take kids into the program, and I still say we, I can't help myself.
And who's the
7th
executive?
grade.
Executive?
Charles Lysis, or Chuck as he goes by, and
Okay.
he's terrific. He
Okay.
runs a really fabulous program. Down here in Monroe County,
Gotcha.
they've met the gold standard
Take
on a number
stock
of years.
in touring. Make sure you Google that. And this is a great program. There's no reason you can't go to college free. There's a lot of stuff out there. And anything for kids, I'm 1,000,000% behind that. Let me ask you another question. What can we do to get these kids with the knowledge that as soon as I can vote, I need to vote? I mean, I've been trying to figure this out. It's very hard. I like to see voting at 90%, but it's hard.
I would love that, honestly. Part of the thing is that schools have taken on a lot of the jobs that we used to expect families to do. And I would encourage parents, guardians, grandparents, whoever lives with their students to talk about the importance of voting. When my kids were young, I used to take them to the polls when I voted so they could see what it looked like, see what it felt like. It wasn't scary. They saw how to do it.
I think that's an excellent idea.
As they got older, we were able to get mail-in ballots because they never liked to take a chance on not getting to the polls.
Right.
So I always request an absentee ballot, and so we've always talked politics at the dinner table. That's just something that we do. I think it's important, whatever your beliefs are, whatever you think, I think it's important to impart that to your children.
No doubt. And now that you bring the dinner table, and this is just off the top of my head, this is how we do it over here. I think it's very critical that we put these phones down, and I have a rule with my daughter. We go eat somewhere, I don't even let them bring in the phone for the time that we sit down and having lunch or dinner occasionally, because I think it's very important for people to interact with each other one-on-one, look people in the eyes.
And that's what we do in our house.
You do that too?
I don't like to tell people how to run their families.
Right.
Every kid's different.
Right.
Some kids don't have it in them to put a phone down.
Right.
Or to stay still in a way you would want them to in a restaurant. So everybody's got to do what's best for them, but I prefer that as well.
Yes, and like I said, this is, it's a short time, and like that people could interact. And to be honest with you, kids entertain with their phones.
Of course.
Because they're looking at pictures and stuff.
And if you want to have adult conversation and you have some little people at the table, giving them phones is sometimes the best way to make that happen.
Yes,
so I definitely don't want to come across as preachy.
No. You're not.
I like to have my children be part of our conversation. Have actually since they were quite young, and people often comment that when they talk to adults, they look them in the eye. They're very comfortable and confident, and I think a lot of that has to do with.
I think that's awesome. But bottom line, they got to start at the household. You can't tell people how to run their household,
No.
but I think it's very good if people in general, especially kids, interact with people that they're having company with, because in a lot of things we grew up on respect, and it's kind of disrespectful if you out and about,
Yes.
and then you have company and you're not paying attention. So you got to do what's best for
children. See what they see, and they learn what they see, and if their parents are on the phone, the likelihood is that they're going to be on the phone too.
Absolutely. So if you got any questions, come on in. Right now we are answering all questions. You know this character right here?
Oh, I know him.
Donnie Burials. Thank you. A first responder, been on the front line for a long time. He says, Louie repping Ramona's Conk creational holla. Okay, we got to support local business. No doubt about it. Ramona's been out there for a very long time. And to me, I try to buy everything I can local.
That's where I get all my Key West shirts for
Exactly.
my baseball games
And you could actually,
my basketball games and everything else.
listen, any of y'all watching worldwide and you want to, represent all this KW we got, because we was Friday Night Lights before Friday Night Lights, you make sure you check out Ramona's. They will take care of you. I believe they ship. So make sure it's all good there. Let me ask you, go ahead, Mike, handle your business. See, we got a situation going on. This is what happens on the live. I'm going to let you talk to me real quick.
All right. We've got Judith Gonzalez. I make sure to have family game night at home. Definitely no phones at dinner time. And again, that's great. I love it. I love family game night. Everybody's got to figure out what works for them. And it sounds like, Judith, you've got that covered.
Ms. Mindy, it would happen that something occur here in the middle of your show. So see that this is real life stuff that's happening. Okay. This is not tape recorded. So we're in the studio right now, right? So we got a person on production, and the production guy has a bicycle out here, which he did not lock. So
that kid was on his bicycle.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see, but this is sometimes these gifts from God come, right? So. That could have been handled in a whole different situation or whatever. But
bring that bicycle inside.
I'm coming right back.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just look at more comments. Amy Lee Lay. It's Bill and Amy. We love you, Mindy. I love you guys too. I hope you're driving safe and staying safe and having incredible vacation.
I'm sorry.
Can't wait for you guys to come back.
So Mike just got back in here. So Mike, being the gentleman he had a conversation with the kid. He said, "You're not supposed to be on that bike. We ain't called no police. We're not going to press no charges.
Just get off the bike."
That this is not a way to do it, because it could have not been Mike. It could have been somebody else. And you see what's going on naturally on the news. So this is the way you have to. Every situation is different. So I'm glad that turned out okay. Yeah. Well, are we here with Amy? Is that what you left off?
Red Amy, and now we're up to Red Tater.
Okay, Red Tater. Okay, I'm going to let you take that one.
Amen, y'all, on the dinner table, and not expecting the school to be the parents. Parents be parents and educators be educators. Respect starts in the home.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Tater, for that comment. Anybody else got any questions, let me know. Mindy, I had so much fun on the show today. We even had a little situation, so never stops and keep us, but all love, all good.
Life
God is good.
goes on for sure.
Thank you, FloridaKeysNG.com, Lori for Access in the Keys. If you have an accident, a car, bicycle, or moped, or God forbid, in that big ocean, make sure you go to FloridaKeysNG.com. Locals take care of locals, 302 Southern Street. They will make sure you are good to go. And Dr. B, the #1 doctor in America, Burroughs, back on the program, Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon, and Key Largo. He'll be here on Friday. We're going to answer all questions. It don't matter if we stay out here for 3 hours. And Paradise Restaurant. Have you found Paradise? 124 Duval Street. Finally a new place to eat Cuban food. So any closing word for the kids, for the teachers, for school board member, to the Gators, to the Hurricanes? What you got to say, girl?
I'm going to reiterate what Mrs. Axford said. Be kind, be patient, be flexible, and understand that we all want what's best for everyone. And for everyone, that won't be exactly the same. So what we are trying to do is to meet the needs of all of our teachers, all of our staff, all of our students, all of our families. And I'm excited and happy to be working with the board I'm working with. I feel like the board, combined with Mrs. Axford and her team, really doing the best job that we can for the community. Absolutely. And in no time, I don't think we gave y'all teens some time off. Now we still working hard individual drills within guidelines. But I'm going to be sitting with this girl soon over there in the VIP at the Conn Baseball, red and gray. Shout out to All Sports. Matter of fact, we got a gentleman from wrestling, Big Chaz, coming on the program. Tomorrow, Mike Foster's here tomorrow. Chaz is going to come in next week. All love right now. Let me see. Favorite school board member. Look, Abraham Conn. Abraham Conn.
I'm going to end it with this. Holla!